mercenaries, really, that's the double M. Born baller, baby boy, I be above the rim.
What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
Don't be disrespectful. I'm going to quote a famous Chinese philosopher here, Kevin Garnett.
Oh, wow.
What Kevin Garnett said?
I didn't even know he was Chinese.
Well, you know it now. What Kevin Garnett said was, respect these years.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. When you look at things you talk about, I'll say this. There's only been 32 finals MVPs. And damn it, I'm one of them.
Okay. All right.
I see Draymond behind me.
Okay.
But don't act like it wouldn't been in the 80s. He would have been knocked out.
Hey, come on, man. Stop that, Sid. Hey.
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets.
Family, what's good? Welcome back to another edition of Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets. You already know how we do. Brought to you as always. It's your host, Justin, aka Just Blaze. Family, you know the drill. To get in contact with me, you can always hit me up and follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513, on IG at JustBlaze513, on Facebook, search Above the Rim Podcast. Also, email the show as well, Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Tap in and leave the family a voicemail. Talk about it line is always open, 908-718-1592. Family, to support the show, you already know you can do that by copying your merch. Link is in my bio, very easy to find. Leave your boy a review on iTunes and Spotify. Check out the YouTube page as well for the visuals. Link is in my bio, very easy to find. Everything. Joining me this week, family, one of my dogs that I've been talking hoops with for a minute now. Host of the Urban Sports Scene Show. Family, make sure you go download, make sure you subscribe to the show, his pod. Very knowledgeable, my brother. Straight out of the DMV. My guy, Wole. What's good, family?
Man, what's going on, man? Pleasure being on, bro. You already know, what time it is, man. You know I love talking hoops with you, man.
Of course, man. And my fault, because it's been a minute since you was on here on the last show. I had to look on my chart, and I was like, damn, it's been a minute since I brought my boy on. So my bad. You should have been on way earlier than that, because you my guy.
I know, hey, look, I'm not that person. I'm cool with it, bro. Man, like, as long as I see your content out there on social media, I'm good, bro.
Yes,
I'm good. As long as I see your content.
Yes, my brother. And likewise, man, because I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you always inviting me on your show. Your show is dope. I appreciate it. We had a nice little pre-finals talk, early finals talk. So I most definitely had to bring you on because I know we got a lot of things to talk about it. So, of course, I appreciate you for joining me on short notice, my brother. And you was always my post-finals pick, but I thought it would be under different circumstances. But we here, though.
Yeah, man.
We here. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this NBA Finals, man. Congrats to the Warriors, obviously, for winning their 4th title in 8 seasons, defeating the Boston Celtics in 6 games after losing Game 1. Steph winning Finals MVP, Draymond winning MVP for the biggest mouth of the series, and some series numbers. 5 out of the 6 games, Steph was the leading scorer, averaged 31, 6, and 5. Wiggins 18 and 8. He was their leading rebounder. Klay averaged 17. Draymond averaged a whopping 6, 8, and 6 with 30 fouls for the Warriors. And and on the Celtics side, JB was their leading scorer with 23 and 7. JT with 21, 6, and 7. Smart with 15. Horford with 12. Wole, talk to me, my brother. What were your initial thoughts about this series and how it played out? Talk to me.
I thought that Boston's defense would play a factor and help them win the series, and they did. They did their job. They defensively. 103 in the closeout game that Golden State had. That was good defensively, but the problem was turning over the basketball. And we'll get into it later. I like JT. I think he's one of the most talented player on the team. But he's missing right now. He's missing like that dog mentality aspect. Like Jaylen Brown has the dog. Like I told you that when we was on the show. Like Jaylen Brown has the dog. Tatum needs that. Like he has everything in terms of the skill set of scoring the basketball. You know what I mean? But it's like you just gotta have it. Like and I think he's gonna have it eventually. I'm not saying he won't have it, but right now in the maturation process of his game, he doesn't have that. I wish he would. I wish it's wild. I wish Jaylen would have with something that Tatum has, and vice versa. Like they do complement each other in a way, but you kind of want when you're going against a team like the Warriors, you can't go on these droughts You can't. Your two best players have to be the two best players, especially on the Boston Celtics on that team. They had to be the two best players, and they had to be more consistent. But most importantly, they just couldn't turn. They shouldn't have turned the basketball over that many times. And I think that's what really hindered them in the series.
Yeah, turnovers in this series was a major issue, and especially turnovers in key moments. There was a lot of turnovers in very key moments, which was a deflator, you could say, for a lot of it. So it deflated the team, it deflated the crowd, also deflated everybody watching. And so there's energy all around. The team could feel that. It's like, damn, come on, not again. You got people saying, not again. We already saw what happened last series where Jimmy Butler came in there. I was about to say the Boston Garden. And TD and
I always call it Garden.
Yeah, I always call it Garden. I can't get out of that. You saw how Jimmy Butler came in there last series and dropped 46 or 45 on him in that game 6 to force it to game 7. So we know this team can let you down from time to time. Yeah, we know that about this team. So to me, when I looked at the series, 3 non-stat reasons that I feel like the Celtics lost were, I think they were in their head for a lot of this series. I think they were not disciplined enough on defense for me. I talked about it on Twitter. I was screaming at my TV. I'm talking about Al Horford going under a lot of these Steph screens. Many of these screens, it was pissing me off, man. I'm like, damn, a lot of those guys were doing that. And then also, the Warriors just hit big shots when it mattered most.
Steph did. Steph hits a lot of big shots, man. And I think you mentioned Wiggins. I think he needs to get a lot of credit in the series. I know Stephen A. Smith was talking wild about him a couple years ago. About
you were trading for a box of cookies?
Yeah, forgetting he was the top pick in the draft or whatever though. Wiggins showed, on this team how valuable he is in terms of playing defense and rebounding the basketball. And I will say this about the series: I felt there was a key game. And even when the series was tied 2-2, and Steph had a great game 4, and they needed all 40 plus of Steph's points to win that game. Yes. I think people need to understand they needed all of that 40. Like all that 40 was important because the rest of the Warriors squad wasn't really bringing it. But in game 5, I felt like they let a key game get away from the Celtics. Steph was off. Like you had to take advantage of that game. Like you had Steph didn't hit any threes. That was the game to have, right?
That was such a letdown, man.
I felt like when she lost that game, because I predicted the Celtics to win the series, I was like, the Celtics can still have it. But in my mind, I was like, usually
we knew what it was.
You knew what time it was. Like you lost that game, and you're going back home, so you would think that they played better. But I felt like Steph's gonna be better. He's going to be better. Yeah. Like he's going to be better, and you let that game go. Like you let that game get away, but. To your point, I'm like this series, Boston, they're a young team. It's in a maturation process. You're going to have to learn. There are a lot of things, like you said, non-stat wise that cost them the game. There's a lot of things. But I do think composure. I think they did let folks like Draymond get into their heads. I do have an issue with some of the officiating. I mean,
that officiating, come on, bro. That officiating was sus. Let's be real. That officiating was sus.
I did not like it in the game in Golden State. I was not a fan of it.
Game 5
of how what's his face? Poole. Like he would block every which way, and then the referees believed it. It was wild to me. And then you give Udoka a tech. Marcus Smart a tech at a key situation. I was like, you don't even do that in that particular point in the game. Like you're throwing. It was a wild officiated game.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I got one word for what you said because I 100% agree with you. But one word for what you're saying: La agenda. Okay, listen, there was listen, man, I talk real shit in it. Listen, there was definitely an agenda in these series. Let's be real. But, they did earn a win. A lot of officiating was very suspect. It leaned very heavily towards the Warriors. But, some teams still can fight through things like that. Agree. But this team couldn't fight through that. So I was very disappointed in the Celtics' play and their mental fortitude as a whole in this series. Yeah. So let's talk about the Golden State Warriors winning their 4th title in 8 seasons. Listen, I call this them Warriors winning the title this year. Low key was revenge of the nerds, in my opinion. It was revenge of the nerds. Like they had every right to celebrate their title, enjoy their title, but some of their antics a little bit after was a little corny, in my opinion. A lot of the Draymond stuff was a little corny. The back and forth with Ja, maybe. The tweet, the Jaylen Brown tweet, after he said the energy shifted and the Draymond wrote something else after that. The energy did shift or some stupid shit he said. The Warriors rapping the NBA YoungBoy lyrics that the Suns were dancing pregame to, that Ayton and Bridges were dancing pregame to, and Draymond's pod, amongst other things. There was a lot of things going on in this series. And listen, I mean, I'm not glad they won. I'm happy that they earned this title, but there were a lot of things going on in this particular series that were non-basketball wise, I feel like. So, I mean, 4 titles, 8 seasons, very good, excellent. Sure. 2 with KD, 2 without, but this particular title, I would probably rank it the most rewarding out of all of their titles, because they did have to overcome some adversity this season, reincorporating Clay back into the lineup, Steph getting hurt during the season, developing Jordan Poole, bringing in some young guys, developing those guys over there. So, to me personally, out of all the Warriors titles, out of the 4, this to me is the sweetest and I guess the most rewarding for those guys.
I guess it would be.
Disagree?
I'm trying to figure out what, because I feel like there's no LeBron in this series, so they didn't have to play against that type of dog.
True.
That you know what I mean? Like, it's
that
easy to go against
force. Yeah.
The unstoppable force. You had to literally call one of the best players in the world to come on your team because of LeBron. Yeah. You know what I mean? Draymond admitted it, right? So it's hard, but I think as a unit, as a whole team, Boston is better than Cleveland. I'm talking about the first Cleveland team, like the first Cleveland
2015.
Team. Yeah, because everybody was out, right? Because you didn't have Kyrie, you didn't have Kevin Love, but you still had to go against like LeBron, right? So I guess you could say this is probably the toughest one. I mean, the more earned one, because you didn't have KD, you didn't have to lean on that individual. So yeah, I guess this would be the best of the victories. But I feel like, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, there is an argument to be said that the road to it was a little bit easier compared to the rest. Because I feel like, you didn't go. I mean, I feel, John, you didn't go against me. You didn't go against. You got lucky to go against Dallas. You were lucky Phoenix. With the upset. You played against Denver without
Michael Porter and
Jamal Murray. So like, the run, other than the Celtics, your run has been easier compared to the ones in the past to get to the finals. I know I had you on my show. The debate was like, who's more battle tested? The Celtics, who had to go through those dogs, right? And in the Warriors, they had individuals out, so they made the run was a little easier. Yeah. So, but. To this argument, you could say that they're more, because of that they weren't worn down as much. Like the Celtics may have been more worn down compared to the Warriors. But I guess this is obviously for the Warriors. I would say So I'll agree with you to say this is probably more valuable, more important, because one, Steph got MVP, so I'm sure that's like in terms of the agenda, they're happy about that.
I love the energy, Steph. Brother. I love the energy.
Look, I love Steph, man, but I'm a Steph dude. Like I feel you. Like I'm a Steph dude. I love Steph. And David said that he beat my Hoyas. Yeah, man. I'm a Steph dude. So there's no shade to Steph, but there was a lot of talk about this MVP and Steph, and I felt like why is this a discussion where I personally felt that Steph deserved it over Iguodala. When Iguodala got it in the first chip, right? Like I was like, Steph should have got it because Iguodala didn't stop LeBron. LeBron still had all godly numbers.
Come on, you didn't average a triple-double in that damn series.
Exactly. So who did you stop? Like, for real. So I didn't get the whole, like, all right, we all know who he got. He really got an MVP in the first joint. It just, they didn't give it to him. But this whole clamor, like, when will Steph get the MVP?
They were dragging that storyline.
They were dragging it. I was like, good God. I mean, I get that KD came on the squad and took it over, but dang, bro,
they were dragging it.
Bro, like, come on, man. Isaiah Thomas played with Joe Dumars. Isaiah got one MVP. Joe Dumars got one. Like, it's so. All right, sometimes you don't get the MVP. It happens. Right? Everybody. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, I was saying, and it's all dependent on that series, on the final series. It's not an award for the totality of the year. It's from that individual series.
Steph is MVP. Like, what does this even matter? Even the MVP, does this even matter? Like, seriously, that's why
it was so annoying. I'm like, yo, y'all are dragging it. And you know what? This is an argument that's derived from 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds on Twitter that's really like trying to use it against him and say, oh, he's not a great player because of Finals MVP. Listen, that shit don't really matter, okay?
It don't mean nothing.
It really don't mean anything.
It's
Listen,
bullshit.
Magic Johnson is a five-time? 4 or 5? I think it's 5. Yeah, five-time champion. He didn't win the Finals MVP every year.
No, he didn't.
Exactly. There's plenty of times Kareem won it, and I believe James Worthy got it. Come on. I'm like, yo, relax. It's about how you perform. Chill. As long as you perform well, you got the title, you got the respect, it's added to your legacy. That's all that really matters. But they were dragging it for a storyline.
Typically, I feel for Steph this way. Typically, scorers, if you lead the series,
exactly. You win it.
You win it. Iguodala got it because they just felt like giving it to him. I'm sorry. They didn't hate. I'm sorry. Just get over it. It's over. All right.
They couldn't get over that.
They didn't get over that. Like so, when you got players like Jordan, Durant, Shaq. All right, you just named another one. We all love Kobe. 3 of the freaking championships he got. Shaq was MVP in all of them.
Come on, man. Come on.
Let's relax. Let's just relax a little bit.
They needed to pump the brakes. But the reason why they were dragging that storyline, because I'm going to be real, it was low-key a boring series. I'm going to be honest. It was. I'm going to keep it a stack over it. It was a little boring. So they were dragging storylines. The only thing they could talk about was Steph Curry. They didn't want to talk about JT. They didn't want to talk about Jaylen Brown.
But this thing started before the series even started, though. Like, that's my problem. Like,
the agenda was ready.
Yeah, early. It was early. That's why I think you're right, though. It was a boring series. But I'm like, y'all started this thing early. Steph,
man.
No MVP stuff. I'm like, series ain't even start yet.
Bro, you remember? I don't know if you remember, but I wrote on Twitter. I was like, damn, they started this Finals MVP agenda way before the series even started.
Yes.
The minute the buzzer sounded in that Celtics Miami series, they were like, all right, Steph Curry, Finals MVP. Nobody on this team is getting it over him. Let's get it. When will he get it? I'm like, all right. But since we're on the topic of Steph, we still got to talk about Steph. Now, legacy talk now. Talking about with Steph Curry. Since a lot of these national media outlets want to drag that storyline also as well. Shove it down our brains with the legacy talk. But it's a topic of discussion, so we do got to address it. A lot of people, Steph Curry, 4 titles, 2 MVPs, 1 Finals MVP, all-time leader in threes. A lot of people are saying, well, some of these new people are saying, top 10 player all-time for Steph Curry. Where do you got him on your list? And we might as well just throw out our top 10 right after that. So I'll let you throw out your top 10. First of all, answer if Steph is in your top 10 and then give your top 10. And there may be a reason why or why not. Then throw up your top 10 and then I'm going to go myself.
He's not in my top 10. I think we are creatures of today.
Recency bias.
Recency, like all the time. So we forget some of the great players. And I'll go to era when I was watching hoops. We forget about Isaiah.
Come on.
We forget about Olajuwon.
Come on.
We forget about Tim Duncan.
Come on.
We forget about Shaq. Like, these dudes are, at the end of the day, we've seen these dudes have consistently played well in the biggest games and the brightest lights consistently. Like, when they're going against adversity, they've always come to play. Like 9 times, and we forget about that. And they've always been ballers in the regular season. But we only remember, today. Like, what I mean? And today's basketball is totally different from what we saw back in the day. But I don't want to get to that because I hate when people compare eras. That bothers me. But I feel like, he's close to my top 10. No knock, he's close to it. But I just got players that I watched that where a lot of them they played offense and defense. And they played some tough teams, man. Like, they knocked out dogs. Like, I'm saying, when they played in the finals, it wasn't, they took out the LeBron James of the world. They took out, even Jordans of the world. Like, we forget about, at the end of the day, reason why I put Isaiah over Steph is, think about it this way. You had 2 of the best all-time teams or players in 3. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. Isaiah beat all 3 of them dudes. Right. Isaiah did it. And if he didn't twist his ankle, I love Magic. If Isaiah didn't twist his ankle, who's to say Magic is 5?
I agree. Listen, a lot of people, these people who are arguing these things, they don't even remember those kind of series.
That's what I'm saying.
They wasn't even born yet with them kind of series. That's why I'm like, listen, pump the brakes. Listen, Steph is a great player. And it's not my problem is, it's not a diss to say he's not top 10. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand I don't know how it became a thing where it's now a diss or now you're quote unquote hating on Steph if he's not in your top 10. Like, that's crazy to me. We talking about the top 10 right now. That's a very select few.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just like the whole, I gotta do the math. Like this whole, like Klay Thompson not making 75. I'm like, yeah, I mean, Klay's good. He's won some championships, but I mean, do we forget? Like, we forget that 75. Like, this is
75.
Great player.
Is Klay carrying a team?
Yes, he carrying a team. Like, the person that needed to be crying the most is probably Dwight. And I don't care if he doesn't have a championship, but Dwight was carrying a team. If you look at his stats and what he did, MVP, all defensive MVP, dude, 20 plus. Like,
listen, bro, AD over Dwight was criminal.
Criminal.
That was
criminal. AD shouldn't be on the list. AD shouldn't even be on the list.
Oh yeah, I agree. He's not sniffing that top 75 right now.
He shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. So, like, we all like issue with today's basketball fans is like they complain about when somebody gets snubbed on, supposedly snubbed. It's like, oh no, like this like y'all don't respect him or this, that. No, that's not the case. The case is, why has it got to be in spite of? Like, why does it got to be that way? Like, it's like everybody get their flowers. Why are you crapping on a player that doesn't get they, like, dude, like, there are players. I'm an AI fan, dude. He ain't in my top 10. That's AI is my second favorite player ever. He's not in my top 10. You know what I'm saying?
And everybody's top 10 is subjective. There's no official top 10. So how can you be mad if he isn't in someone else's top 10 different than yours?
As long as you can debate or make an argument why your person should be in the list, I'm cool with it. But don't come out here and say, like, look, I would like you to really break down some people Steph should go over and really talk about in detail why he should get over them.
Yes.
And I can come back and tell you why I have a reason why he's not over them.
So with that being said, throw out your top 10, my brother, and I'm going to react to it, and then I'm going to throw out my top 10. So go ahead, Wole. Give me your top 10. All-time top 10.
All right. So everybody knows my Magic dude, but I'm not going to start with number Magic's number one. My number one is Kareem. Dominate all levels of basketball. All levels. And decades, too. Yeah, decades of dominating basketball.
Just run off the top 10. Let me hear this.
All right, top 10. All right. Kareem, Magic, Jordan, LeBron, Bird, Duncan, Shaq, Kobe, Isaiah Thomas, and Olajuwon.
Ooh, okay. Listen, I'm not mad. Wait, say it one more time.
All right. Kareem 1, Magic 2, Jordan 3, LeBron 4, Bird 5, Duncan 6, Shaq 7, Kobe 8, Isaiah 9, Olajuwon 10.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I do have a problem with MJ being number 3. That is
3?
Yeah. Number 3? Yeah, damn, that's a little crazy to me. I'm not going to lie. Number 3.
It's all good.
But you know, I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. That's how you feel. All right, so my top 10 right here.
Go ahead.
In order. MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Shaq, Kobe, Bill Russell, Wilt, Hakeem the Dream. Number 10.
Okay, I like that list. I like that you add. I wanted to add Chamberlain and Wilt.
I'm surprised you didn't have no Wilt.
I was going to, but then it was like
it's tough.
I ain't gonna lie. I like to go to people I see. I wanted to do that, but then it was like I didn't see him play that physically. At all. I didn't see him at all, and I appreciate. And I mean the rings and Russell. I want to respect that. I wanted to put that on my list, but then it was like, let me be fair to myself and be like, all right, like my 10 and how I would like view it and how I saw, like, I saw the end. I saw old Kareem, like at the end, like at old Kareem. I was like, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, this dude could still get buckets. Like, he's old and he still get buckets. Like, and, you know, and then you look at, you know, what he did in New York, you know what I'm saying? As a street ball, as a legend as a street ball legend, go to UCLA, dominate.
He was a winner on all levels.
All levels, man. I was like, you know what? That's, to me, if you want to like symbolize who is it in basketball, it would be Kareem to me. Or I could put Jerry West the logo in there too. I wanted to, but I was like, nah, I ain't doing all that. But but I mean, I like your list though. Your list is dope. I ain't gonna lie.
I like your top 10 too, but I gotta say this one thing. Listen, I gotta talk about that. a lot of people who are forgetting. One thing I want to give you a shout out on for you putting Hakeem the Dream on your list too, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how I know we think alike. Because let me tell you right now, I'm tired of the Hakeem Olajuwon disrespect. People who are new to basketball don't even remember the Dream because they don't even remember he had one of the greatest seasons ever known to man in 93-94. 93-94. He was third in the league in scoring, averaging 27, 11, 3 and 3 blocks. He became the only player in NBA history to win the regular season MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, NBA title, and Finals MVP all in the same season. That's crazy. Yeah. He's a 2-time champ, 2-time Finals MVP, 12-time All-Star, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a top 10 player in NBA history, no doubt about it in my mind. So I don't know how you can put Steph in that top 10 over those kind of players. To me, you can't put Steph over Hakeem the Dream. Like, people are forgetting what he did in this league. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, you can't. Olajuwon, like you said, I hate it though. I hate how people disrespect Olajuwon. I'm a Patrick Ewing. I'm a Georgetown fan. What he did to Ewing, what he did to David Robinson. Come on, like that. Like David Robinson MVP. David Robinson MVP that year. So Hakeem was on give back. He said, you didn't give it to me. He said, you ain't give it to me, and put in that series, he humiliated Dave Robinson to a point where it was disrespectful. Yes. Him with up and unders, whatever. Hakeem is I mentioned, a two-way type of player. Dominant on defense and dominant on offense. Footwork, mid-range. If he wanted to shoot threes, he could shoot threes. Yes. Like, he was a big man, was so versatile, had a crossover off the post, a little subtle crossover. Hakeem was it as a big in that era. When Jordan left, Hakeem was the guy. Come on. Like, we gotta remember, when Jordan left, Hakeem was the guy. For those, they won 2 championships. The only regret I wish that the Hakeem guy could have saw Jordan in the finals, in the Bulls, in the finals. Like, it would have been something, I think it would have been a good series, but dog, like, I'm with you. Like, Hakeem should be in it. To me, when we talk about, we disrespect Shaq. I think a lot of people disrespect Shaq. Yes. Often. He should be high on everybody's list. Very high. High on everybody's list. We all, like, the reason why I always put Shaq over Kobe, and no disrespect to Kobe. I got Shaq over Kobe also. Yeah, but a lot of people don't. Like, see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't, though. The reason why, because when these dudes were on the same squad, Kobe got 5. Yes. Kobe got 5 chips. And so in 5 of his chips, and we don't like to talk about finals MVP, but if you look at the totality of the season, Shaq was the best player on the squad. Yes. Therefore, he is the guy. Like, so he should be over Kobe. I have so much admiration for Tim Duncan. I think I probably put Tim Duncan over Shaq. Like, ooh, that's how. Well, listen, that I wouldn't be mad at that. You know what? Yep, I did. I want to make sure I did. So there's a reason why I had Duncan over Shaq, because you went against Shaq and Kobe. Yes. Like, you have to watch the series. You went against Shaq and Kobe. He was the most dominant player in that series all the time. Only on the time that the Lakers started beating the Spurs. If you look at it, you're going against 2 dogs. Shaq, they had the Lakers. Ori would be checking Duncan initially. Then the 4th, they try to put Shaq on Duncan to get him out of the, get position off, to get him out of position to block. Yep. Didn't work. Duncan's still getting business, bro. I was like, from that point on, I was like, he's a dude I'd never want to see in the NBA playoffs ever if I'm a Laker. Yeah, and because he's not flashy and all of that, people tend to forget how dominant that he was. But Tim Duncan was tactical. He was a tactical vet, a tactical leader, a tactical player, and definitely top 10 of all time, very deserving. And he took a lot of these main superstars out in his run. And I want to say 4. Yeah, he has 4 chips, right? Duncan got 4 chips. Four, yeah. 4 chips. 4 chips where before Tony Parker was even good. We ain't have a jumper. Come on, man. Manu was a 6th man, but like, this is, dude, like, more respect need to be given to him. So I just feel like, we can love Steph all we want, but yo, a lot of these dudes are going to get savages to get to that chip. Yeah, yeah, I agree. And it's getting a little crazy now. Listen, man, it's no disrespect to say Steph is not top 10. He top 15, top 20, that's cool. You know, I'm gonna be mad at that if anybody want to throw him top 15, top 20. He's one of the greatest shooters ever, and he revolutionized the 3-point line. We know all of that. Man. You know, we know all of that. But that right there doesn't qualify you for the all-time top 10. There's a tough amount of plays that you have to surpass in order to get there. You know, a lot of people talk about that bus driver, bus rider shit, but people forget how hard it is to win a championship. That's why this era of basketball watchers or people who think they know the game, they championships are starting to become watered down because that's all thing people's cared about right now. You forget what it takes to get there and to actually win it. It's tough.
And to be real with you, if you want to really keep it 100, like if I got to compare eras and whatnot, there are tougher teams now, man. There were tough teams back then in terms of the competition compared to nowadays in basketball. You pretty much have a gist. I think basketball, I will give credit. This season has been more competitive. Yeah. In terms of like depth in East and West. But for a while, you pretty much knew who was going to the championship.
Oh yeah,
like,
plenty of seasons.
It's pretty easy, and it wasn't hard. Like, so I'm just saying, like, some of these chips that are given, like, let's just keep it a buck and say, like, there are a lot of them, you got about 5, 6, Steph has like five championships now.
Steph, four
championships now. I mean, you pretty much knew, like, it was what it was. So a lot of champions back in, say, some of the dudes we mentioned, Elijah or whatever, you didn't know because the competition was so tight.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So it wasn't
a lot of contenders.
Yeah, a lot of contenders, a lot of tough ballers. Like I said, you had to go against good teams. I don't want to say stars, but good teams to get to the next level and win championships. So
100%.
I mean, like you said, man, ain't no knock on Steph, man. There's so many great players that aren't even in the top, in my top 10. So many. Like Scottie Pippen won 6.
Come on. Come on, listen, I don't even have Isaiah Thomas in my end. Isaiah Thomas was one of my favorite players ever. Like, come on. And I just got to be real too. Like, putting Steph Curry over Magic Johnson. Oh man, I don't even say that. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna be honest with you. Tell me you don't know basketball without telling me you don't know basketball. You cannot put Steph Curry over Magic Johnson. I'm sorry. Steph Curry's cool. He's not Magic.
I'm gonna give people because people forget, and I'm gonna give you later Magic. This is all I'm gonna give people so I can educate them on Magic because people ain't educated.
Come on, man.
So this later Magic. This is Magic right before HIV, just right before the HIV announcement. That season right before. Magic, James Worthy was done. He was old and he wasn't the same James Worthy. He had a young Vlade Divac, a young Eldon Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Byron Scott was basically like a role player. He was trying to move like other younger players to be replaced. The only constant was Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, the only constant. This is older Magic now. This ain't Magic Johnson, who was, MVP or whatever, but still putting up numbers.
Older
Magic.
Magic.
20. Average of 20, whatever. Took that team and took that team to the Western Conference Finals, beat Portland, who later on, year after, went to the finals, played the Bulls, and took that team to the championship. They took one game from the Bulls and Bulls went up, and Jordan won his first championship. That's Magic at the tail end, right? Took that team to the championship. That team, after when Magic retired, that team was terrible. They lost one. James Worthy was on the squad.
Yep.
Byron Scott was
still there.
Eldon Campbell, the team was not good.
We had Perkins, Divac at that time.
But exactly. Wasn't good. Magic can do that. Like, Magic can do, and still, for a lot of people, their GOAT was able to beat that team with Jordan and Scottie, who were now Scottie, the light bulb clip. Jordan was already clicking, but the light bulb already clicked for Scottie. But was able to take a game just with Magic, and it was in Chicago. Took a game in Chicago. Now, and then he got hurt, which made it a little, which kind of messed things up for him. But look at Steph, what he had to do by himself, without Clay, without Draymond, if you want to give Draymond credit, without. Look how he had to struggle. The team was the same. What were they last year?
Yeah, they didn't even make the playoffs last year. They got beaten in the play-in.
Saying, there's levels to this greatness thing. Like, there's levels. Now they're not going Steph. Again, I'm just saying, there's levels.
We're talking top 10 right now, though.
Yeah, we're talking top 10.
Come on, we didn't even mention Dr. J, brother. Come on, man. He's not even mentioned. Come on, top 10 is crazy now.
So, because when you top 10, this is the thing. When you top 10, when you can make that argument, you're able to, to me, if you're a top 10 player, by yourself, I'm not saying win chip, but you're able to move this whole squad by yourself. Like, you're that type of dude. Like, you can move oceans like by yourself. You know what I'm saying? We talk top 10. Like Kobe, the late great, when he made the argument and said, you know what, I don't want nobody there. I just want to be the dude. Shaq. He was still able to take that Lakers squad with a bunch of Smush Parkers or whatever and take them to the postseason as an 8 seed. He was still able to move the direction of the squad. They weren't as talented, but he was able to move it. If we talking top 10, you got to be able to move it without, say, Clay's down. So you still should be able to like move, right?
Yeah. I mean, for that finals that he lost, Clay was out. So I mean, I want to move on from this discussion, but this is actually I might have to bring you on and we do a whole top 20 all time or something like that. Yeah, because it's gonna be a whole nice debate. I like this right there. We might have to do a top 20, maybe a top 50. We might have to go crazy,
bro. I got dudes. I got dudes.
Yes, sir. So like I said, there's no diss to not say Steph is not in the top 10, all right? If you want to put him on the top 10, so be it, but he's not top 10 in my opinion and in Wole's opinion. So
definitely
that's how we going to end that little top 10 debate right now. Cut it out. It's definitely not Steph over Magic. Let's be clear. Yeah,
no, not at all.
All right, man. So let's talk about the Celtics side of things now in this NBA Finals. We had a lot of Steph talk, a lot of the Warriors talk. Let's talk a little bit about the Celtics and where they went wrong a little bit. And most importantly, in particular, we got to talk about Jayson Tatum. Now, I wanted to talk about some of the heat that JT has been getting over this NBA Final, because he's been getting a lot of heat on Twitter and all these new people who watch basketball now blaming him for everything. And let me start off by saying, I was disappointed in his play. Right? His individual play in this finals, and he should have played better. He could have played better. We know he's better than this, but all the blame and all the heat getting put on his shoulders is a little unfair in my opinion. Now, game 6, no excuses for that. You can't get beat like that on your home floor in a game of that magnitude and play that way. He only made 6 shots. He had 5 turnovers and had just 13 points in that last game. That game right there was unacceptable. But JT's 24 years old. He's been to the conference finals 4 times, gold medal, made a finals now, and had a major playoff run this year, taking out KD, Giannis, and Jimmy Butler. 3 of the top small forwards in the game who directly played the same position as him. He took all 3 of them out in order to make his way to the finals. And he was also dealing with a little shoulder problem and stuff like that nobody wants to talk about. But I want to talk about all the heat that JT has been getting in this series. And I think it's a little bit unwarranted. I mean, he averaged 21, 6 to 7. He only shot 36% from the series. I didn't like that Jaylen Brown was the leading scorer in the series over JT. But, like I said, he could have played better. He could have played better this series. But what do you say to the people who are blaming JT solely for this loss and Celtics losing the finals?
No, basketball. It's not solely on him. I think people forget basketball is a team game. I hate this. Yes. We've gone to this part where we think that an individual wins the game for you. It's not. We talk about let's just use game 4 an example, the one that ties the series up. Steph, he goes to 43, but Wiggins has 18 boards. Wiggins has those 18 boards. They don't win the series. They don't win that game.
Yep.
So there are things within the other individuals have to step up too. It's not just Jayson Tatum. I thought Marcus Smart sometimes made some bad foolish plays.
Yes.
Jayson Tatum, I've told you this before, I think he settles too much. I told you this already.
Yep.
He settles for the step back 3 way too much. And I just think that that's a shot that he can make, but if it ain't going good, he's so versatile in his offensive game, mid-range and everything, that there's so much he can do. But that's something with time he'll understand about his basketball game. I do think during the season he did some, he kind of limited those, attempts and was a little bit more aggressive, especially in the postseason.
Yeah.
With against the Heat and whatnot. I felt like he had a good run where he was playing really good basketball. I just think, in this series, it's the finals, right? And sometimes when you're going, I can see how you can get caught up. You're going against Steph, you're going against Clay. These guys hit bangers of threes, right? And you want to answer. So I get why he played that way, but he took some of those shots. But I think people who out there slandering this, going at this kid, he's still young, man. He's still
very,
and he's still growing, which is amazing to me.
He's not even in his prime yet, technically.
Oh, not at all. He'll be a way better player. I told you, like I said earlier, it's just that I just need him, and I think it's fair, to get a little bit of what Jaylen Brown has in terms of mentality. You know what I mean? Relentlessness. When you're relentless with his skill set, it would be amazing.
Yes.
To me, he was so phenomenal in the Heat series. I thought he was amazing in the Heat series. I thought that you get that Tatum against the Warriors, but
how quickly they forget.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it didn't happen. And if you play ball, sometimes you off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's hot. So
every game is different. Every game is different. You feel different.
And to be real, you got to get credit when credit's due. Wiggins did a good job.
He played great. He played excellent.
Yeah, I think you got to give him some credit. Wiggins did a good job in defense. Did he stop him? No, but he contained him. So
he did.
And he did a good job of making shots difficult for Jayson Tatum. Yep. So And you know, and I may blast Draymond. Draymond did a good job at times with Tatum and Brown as well. So and Brown didn't play in game. Was that game 4? Brown played like garbage, or was that game 3, game 5?
That Jaylen Brown played bad?
Like garbage. He shot like horribly.
Yeah, I think it was 4. I think it was
4. Yeah. Shot like trash.
Yeah.
Like, so you can blame him for that game. You know, there's games, every game has a story.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The series isn't built on one person. Every game has a story. So, he'll learn from it. Come on, man. Like,
I agree, man. Finals, I feel you.
Yeah, the history of NBA Finals, man, for real. Man. Like, there's so many dudes that didn't have a great game, a great series in their first NBA Finals, right? Like, are we going to really like try it? There's like so many great ones that didn't play the way they wanted to, but they learned from it. And then the next time they got into it, they did damage. So it is what it is.
Exactly. And, you know, like you said, every game in the finals is its own entity. It's a series. Yeah. You know, every game is different, got a different feel. And there's always unsung heroes in any series, especially the finals. There's always a role player that really comes up big and always
like
plays well.
Looney.
My God, Looney! Come on, man.
I hate that dude. I think his game is trash. I know he'll like bust my ass in 1-on-1. Like I don't like calling NBA players trash because I learned a long time I shouldn't do that because I played as a college kid from Maryland. He was on the bench and he bust my ass.
Damn, you gave me that smoke.
This dude was a beast. That's why I knew that. Like, if you on the bench, if you in the NBA, you a beast.
Come on, man. Anybody,
anybody. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I always tell people this. You gotta remember, even the last dude on the bench in the NBA, he was the best player from his hood, his city, wherever he was at. He was the best player from that whole town. So there's no scrubs.
So, to me, in the context of NBA, Looney is some trash to me, But I thought this is his best run ever of his life.
Yeah. No, it was.
Life, dog. I have never seen this dude play.
This guy was grabbing 20 rebounds every night. I'm like, what's going on over here, man? Well, they
better not ruin my dude. I know I'm going on top. They better not ruin my dude. What's the lefty name? Your old young boy from Memphis. Rookie from. Oh, good.
Who you talking about?
With the Memphis, the rookie they have, his number 1 pick. Oh, good God.
Wait, the rookie on the Warriors?
From last year, from a couple years ago, for a year ago. He was hurt for most of the season. Lefty. He played with Penny.
Oh, Wiseman.
Yeah, Wiseman. Thank you. They better not ruin Wiseman because of Looney. That's all I wanted to say.
We're going to have to see how he comes back next year. But I agree. Go ahead.
But to your point, like, there's always an unsung hero. Always, man.
And to piggyback on that, talking about JT, because a lot of people, you know, it was easy pickings to go slander JT. You know, it was just easy pickings. So a lot of people doing that was kind of weak. I'm gonna be honest, but and one of the things that I said in my previous episode, the finals preview to look out for in this series, and the main thing, my number one thing to look out for was Jayson Tatum's intensity. I said,
you did say that.
Yeah, I said that I needed JT to increase his intensity in order to win this series. And at times, he was the same old JT. He was a little passive, and his mild-mannered body language, you know, to me, it like did him in because he needed some fire, some extra fire when the shot wasn't working, when your game wasn't going the way you wanted it to go. You needed to affect the game in more other ways. He did play make a lot better. He did rebound the ball and all of that. But there's a mentality aspect. You know, you might have to throw a little elbow. You might got to do a little something extra, you know. So the intensity, I needed him to increase, and I think he's going to have to increase that going forward. You got to come a little bit more nastier.
I just want him. I think what would suit him better, because what suit him well is just to use with his frame. You know, he's growing. He's a growing dude. Like when he gets that switch on Steph, like go on the block and then get and do some, like, you know, shoot
search
over or whatever. Search it, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, you know, he settles a lot. Yeah. And that's my problem. I really, honestly, I'm a fan of his playmaking ability. I don't like people shooting just to shoot the ball. Like, I hate that crap. So I'm like not a fan of that. And I do appreciate that he's kind of like made himself into more of a playmaker, with setting people up. I like that. I think that's, in the grand scheme of things, that's going to help you win basketball games. It's going to help you win championships.
Yes.
But the next level is to not settle. Like when you do and it's time to go, do not settle. Do not take the shot that they want you to take.
Yes.
Take the shot that you want to take. You know what I mean? Like, that is something that I think he's going to have to work on. And once he gets that, he'll be fine. Like, I did like some of the stuff he was saying in the press conference about just playing ball. Like a lot of people are trying to say I'm not a star, superstar. Like just play ball, man.
Yeah.
Like, you don't gotta worry about anything. That's kind of like what I like about. I know a lot of people hate on him, like KD, like that mentality. Like he just want to hoop.
Yeah.
Like
I don't want to hear all these narrative stuff. I'm just trying to hoop.
I just want to hoop. Like I'm cool with that. But like for winning it, but you do like to your point, just like when you get to that part, you get to that championship. You know what I'm saying? Or any level of a championship. Like I want to like any level. Like you want to be focused in that zone. You want to be in that zone. Like I'm ready to kill. Like, you know what I mean? For like Jayson Tatum, he full with Kobe. He want to get that Mamba mentality. That's the thing you want to see from him in that type of scenario. So I think, again, he's young, man. I think he'll be fine. Yeah. I think failure is good for a lot of people.
Yes, yes. Sometimes you need that.
You need it. You know what I'm saying? And you remember all this, though.
Yes.
Like, you remember all that slide talk.
It always makes you stronger at the end.
Talk, shit talk. You remember that.
And that's at anything in life, too, not just basketball. Yeah.
Yes.
100%. So he's definitely going to learn from this, and he's definitely going to be a lot better going forward. And everybody knows he was my MVP pick the last 2 seasons, and I might do that shit again next year. So we'll see.
I mean, you know what? Real talk, though, like, it's getting there. I think there's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? Like
you gotta also overcome the narrative too.
The narrative. Don't get to it. The narrative can help, but like the narrative could be in favor for him because of this, right? It'll be like redemption.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like it would be, he went against KD, Kyrie, he went against Jimmy Butler, he went against Giannis. Yeah. He did all this already. He went to an NBA Finals. He's missed a game 7. He plays game 7. So he wins game 7.
Come on.
So the following season, it's like, okay, he got all this on the resume. If he starts fast, it's going to be, Jayson Tatum has arrived. So to me, if he wants the MVP next season, it's there.
He's got to come out the gates fine.
Yeah. Because the narrative is there for him. Don't get twisted. The narrative is there for him. It just he has to come out the gates and own it. He got to come out the gates and own it.
Yep, 100%. I couldn't agree with you more. So I think MVP is definitely up for grabs, and it's going to be up for grabs going forward. So, and one quick little point before we wrap up this NBA Finals talk. I think it's kind of annoying that I feel like they're ODing on the press conferences, before and after every game. Like
they're dumb.
Yeah, like it's like real extra. It's allowing for all of this unnecessary talk to come about. Like you said, they just want to hoop. Sometimes you just maybe need to do a press conference game 1, then game 3, then game 5, maybe something like that, because they're just looking for quotables at this point because they don't even try to answer these damn questions.
Yeah, a lot of them are just stupid questions. I mean, I remember when I used to cover like the Wizards, when the Wizards make the postseason, I used to cover their playoff. When they played Celtics in the playoffs, I was there when John Wall hit the big shot and whatnot. Yeah, a lot of them have them questions. Yeah. I used to talk to my partner beside me. I was like, she asked me, she was like, should I ask this question? I like, don't ask no dumb ass question.
Yeah, come on. That question. Baby, a general ass question.
General ass question. They don't know about hoop, man.
How do you feel? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about
think? What do you think about? Man. Nah, man, people don't care about that.
Nobody cares. Well said. Moving on, my brother. Wrapping up the NBA Finals. We got to talk about the bomb that was dropped today. A drop today on a Monday, my boy Wole. Kyrie Irving free agency news. So, apparently, for folks that don't know, listen to the show, apparently Kyrie Irving's time in Brooklyn could be coming to an end. You never know. Listen, the Nets and Kyrie Irving have seemingly hit a quote-unquote impasse in their contract negotiations, and it looks like he's now open to testing the free agent market. Kyrie is 30 now. He has a June 29th deadline to make a decision on his $36 million player option for next season. If he opts out, he'll be eligible for a 5-year, $240 million extension from Brooklyn. And if he opts in, the Nets could extend him for a maximum of 4 years, $196 million. So big money coming to Kyrie either way, how you slice it. But does he want to exercise his player option? Does he not? He's been linked to a few teams now. They said, Lakers, he was linked to the Clippers, the Knicks. But to me personally, when I heard this news, the first team that came to my mind, and I think a team that will be a major player and a low-key player in the Kyrie Irving sweepstakes if he does become available, is the Miami Heat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think the Miami Heat is going to become a major player in the Kyrie sweepstakes if he does elect to opt out. And it's going to get real sticky by June 29th. Now, I'm ready for this. What you thought about this news today, bro?
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Me neither.
From all the shit he had to do with last season,
Come on, man.
I know.
I'm out here in Brooklyn and BK, and there was a lot of bullshit he had to do.
I know, man. I'm telling you, I'm sure. Once I heard his option was up, I'm like, he ain't coming back.
After how they was acting, his vaccine mandate, and there's also a lot of factors that the casual fan don't realize that goes into this play option because the narrative has been set after guys like Stephen A. have been in the media saying they would only give Kyrie a contract 1 year at a time, and then the whole vaccine mandate that he still didn't get the vaccine, and then you also have the mayor involved, Eric Adams involved, saying that they called him out or whatever the case may be, and he's not changing his rules for one particular player. So there's also a stubborn aspect that goes on here. So the owner of the Nets doesn't want to commit, may not want to commit that type of money. He also has relationships with the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams. So all of this type of stuff plays a factor when players are going through major negotiations with the team. Because if Kyrie signs a 5-year deal, this is probably his last deal in the NBA, and then he's gone. So it's a big deal if he decides this is maybe his last big time NBA decision for him to make coming up.
I'm interested, you said Miami. I'm not sure.
You don't like it? I love the Miami.
No. I don't know if he fits Miami culture. That's the problem.
Well, he'll adjust. You don't think he can adjust? I think he will adjust because he won't be relied upon as much.
Yeah, I just don't know if he fits what they want in terms of hard work, defense. Like they have a culture. They have a certain type of player they like now. You know what I mean? Like PJ Tucker was perfect. Like now, I kind of once they would make it like Kyle Lowry is their type of player. Like but I'm not gonna lie. Is Kyle Lowry good enough to take him to that next level? Oh, I'm not sure. I think we're talking about talent. Think so. I agree with you. I agree with you in terms of talent. Yeah, I mean Kyrie's better, but I just feel like they like a fit. They got their dogs. They do. I think Jimmy, they were close. They were close this year.
Come on, man.
Surprisingly, I think Eric Spoelstra is confident in what he can do.
Yes.
That if you get guys that he can bang with, that he feels like he can do whatever to get them over. He feels like he get them over the top. And I used to trash Eric Spoelstra when he had LeBron and all them. But he to me is the most improved coach and arguably the best coach of basketball. So I would be interested. I think it's I think if you put Kyrie with that, they're better talent, 10 times talent. They're better.
Listen, man, I think there are a few players that you make adjustments for. And I think Kyrie Irving is one of those players that you make an adjustment for. Yeah. With him sliding into that lineup, I don't know if they're going to keep Kyle Lowry. They might have to trade him for a salary
he has to go. He's got to go.
But remember, they got Tyler Hero to throw out, Duncan Robinson to throw out. They got some pieces that they can throw, that can be enticing, to Brooklyn. But I think he'll be excellent fit.
I got a place too that we could go to, depending on what the chatter is. I mean, you got, there's a team out here in the DMV.
Oh,
there's a lot of, Bill. There's decisions on Bill.
I'm not mad at that. But is it enough though? Because I don't know if that's a championship contender with just those two.
No. I'm saying no. I don't know if Kyrie's about winning the championship. That's another thing.
Well, he already got one, so he may be good.
I'm not even saying together. I'm not saying together. I'm saying sign and trade.
Oh, talk to me. Okay. All right. See, I didn't even think about that, but but then Kyrie would have to agree to being the lone wolf then in Washington.
Who's to say he wouldn't? Who's to say he would care?
That's true. We don't know.
Who's to say? I don't think Kyrie is about winning a chip as heavy as, say, other players are. Not to say he's okay. I'm not saying he's in the realm of James Harden. He's not in the realm of James Harden. Yeah, but I don't think Kyrie.
He don't give a damn about no chip.
I don't think Kyrie is that. He got his one. I think Kyrie's about putting his name out there and say, I can carry a whole organization and franchise. I think Kyrie wants to show that.
I'm glad that you said that. So let me ask you this. Do you think KD and Kyrie are at different levels of wanting to win a championship, like you said?
You know what? That's a good question. I think KD just won hoop. I don't think he cares about winning a championship. I think he want to win a
I think KD cares about winning the title because there's been so much shit talking, especially this finals.
I think it's legacy. It's legacy talk now. You know what? You're right.
Because people are talking shit. That's why.
Now it's wild.
Now y'all trying to play me now.
No, this is another thing. How was KD involved in this shit? Golden State won a championship.
Golden State won a title, and KD was 1/3 of the conversation. That shit was ridiculous to me.
Bro, that's a whole different thing.
That's how I know they was fishing for topics in this finals. Come on, but why is KD such a big talking point? Like if it was maybe one segment, maybe for the whole 2 weeks. But dog, he was every single day. KD was a topic. over the actual series. So I'm like, yo, low key, a lot of these media dudes are obsessed with him, low key. And then two, now because they're obsessed with him, now they're trying to play him. They're trying to play my son like he's he's not that dude. Like, hold on now.
They playing him, bro.
Hold on now. So go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. They playing him. You know what? You're right.
I think that's motivation.
KD do want one chip. So I don't think Kyrie cares because in his part of to me, in his place of legacy, he's not gonna be where he thinks he can be at. Like, to be real with you, like we talk about Steph, we talk about like Isaiah and all that. Where do you think the max is Kyrie? I'm gonna ask you, where is Kyrie's max in terms of legacy? Like, where will he be in the top whatever of basketball?
Well,
because there's a lot of bad vibes with Kyrie.
Yeah, and that to me affects his stuff because when you're ranking these players, remember, it's not guys like me and you ranking, because if me and you were ranking, we would rank them in terms of skill, talent, what they do on the floor. The people who are actually ranking these players care about the storyline. They care about how you treated the media. They care about how you spoke to the media. If you had a good relationship with some of the powers that make the decisions in the NBA. So, that all plays a major factor in your actual, there is no official rankings, but let's say, for instance, you make the top 75 or when they expand it to the top 100 or whatever the case may be, so I do think there's a lot of outside factors that affects his rating and his stance in the league and people's personal opinions on the shit of how they feel about him. But, if we talking about basketball, he's up there.
He's up there. He's one of the more talented basketball players I've ever seen. But I just think that I don't know if he freaking cares as much as, like you said, like a KD. Like, even, all right, for instance, like,
I could agree that go there with you. I think KD's a little higher in terms of
he cares more.
What he cares,
he cares more. And not to say that Kyrie like just want to hoop. I know he just wants to hoop. I know that.
Yep.
But I do think there is a thing about, like, he went to Boston because he wanted to show that he can carry a franchise. I do think that he doesn't want to be the second tier anymore. I don't think he wants to be the second tier.
Dude, that's why I'm saying Miami.
Oh, he got to be the first tier in Miami then.
No. He'll be like number 3 there in terms of...
I don't think that works with him, though.
Why not?
He want to be one.
You think he want to be one? I don't know if he wants to...
I think he want to be one.
I don't know. See, I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think he wants to be one. I just think he wants to hoop, get his stats, and win also. I'm not saying he's not about winning, because he's definitely about winning. But I'm just saying, without the hoopla about vaccine and all this other shit.
But see, don't forget what he said about LeBron. Like, this is what he said. Like, and he threw a dig, and it was a dig when he tried to play it off. It was like he wanted to play with KD because he saw a dude that had a game that he respected, or a game that he felt like, all right, this is the reason you can be better than me. Like, you can take shots because this is the reason.
Yeah,
I see it.
That was a dig. Yeah, I do remember him saying that.
All right, Jimmy Butler he's a dog. Don't get wrong, but he ain't Kyrie talent. Like, I'm not going to even.
Oh, talented? No, man. Yeah, but he got the heart though.
He got the heart. No, he got the heart. But LeBron got he got the heart. But Kyrie gonna look and say, I should be taking these shots, like, because he gonna be like, yo, Jimmy go get buckets, but he ain't as talented as me. Because you can make the argument, like, is Jimmy more talented than LeBron?
No.
But ain't
more talented?
Yeah, a skill set.
Nah, you think Jimmy's more talented than LeBron?
No, I'm asking.
Oh,
is he?
No, not at all.
All right, so but you would say that KD could be more talented in certain situations than LeBron, right?
Yeah, in certain aspects. Yeah.
Aspects, right?
Yeah.
Kyrie thought LeBron wasn't as talented as, like, okay, that was the thing. Like, I could respect getting shots over, offensively speaking, I could respect getting shots over KD compared to LeBron because I'm more talented. Kyrie felt I'm more talented to get my shot off than LeBron. Like, I'm not playing second field. That's how Kyrie felt. Like, that's how he kind of felt. That's how reportedly Kyrie felt. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Reportedly. So Jimmy, he gonna look at Jimmy and be like, "Are you a dog?" But dude, I should be getting these shots.
See, I'm not mad at you for saying that because I agree with you some. But I think two things to say with that. Two things. Number one, on the LeBron aspect. We know a lot of that shit is political anyway. It's political with LeBron right now. Politics when it comes to LeBron.
Yeah,
so
facts.
That's a fact. And then number two, I think the Heat, I'm gonna slide them in again. Why I think the Heat is a good spot because when now I think Kyrie's mentality changed. I think he's tired of the KD and Kyrie and the Brooklyn Nets. You know, it was LeBron, Kyrie, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. On the Heat is going to be the Miami Heat. You get what I'm saying? Like you said, Heat culture. They don't call them Jimmy Butler and the Heat. They all call the Miami Heat. So going there, the totality of the team and the organization outshines and you know, will overstep the brand that is just Kyrie, you know? Yeah. And you can't really single him out as much because when people talk about the Nets, they didn't care about nobody else on that team. But it was just KD, Kyrie, and that's it.
That's it, man.
You know what I'm saying? When you go over to the Heat, there's a lot of deflection. It's just basketball. Let's get this shit going, you know? So that's why I think they are a good fit for him.
It's a good. I mean, it is. Don't get me wrong. It is a good fit, but there's things that he would have to change in this game, though.
Yeah.
Because they don't do a lot. It's wild. They don't do a lot of super ISO.
Yeah, but they need it.
They do. They
need it.
They do.
That's the problem. They had Jimmy doing it. That's not Jimmy's game. He did it, but it's not his game.
It's a good fit. I would like to see that.
Come on. I'm converting you, brother. Come on, man.
I would like to see it. You know what? I would like. You know what? Only because I do like drama, so I do would like to see that. I would like to see because Jimmy a different dude. Jimmy don't like a lot.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Jimmy and Kyrie would be a funny little situation. I wouldn't. If it would happen, that means Jimmy would have to sign off on it. That means Jimmy. Of course. That means that they have a decent rapport. So if it does happen, that means Jimmy and that would happen. I mean, I'm interested to see which Kyrie can go, period. You know what I mean? If he would come to LA, I mean, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about talent. You know
for us?
You see, that's the problem. I'm a realist. There's no way they can get Kyrie. That's impossible.
So people think that's such a easy transaction, Kyrie for Russ. I'm like, what are y'all smoking on? It's not that easy of a transaction.
KD ain't playing with Russ again.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, whoa, y'all need to relax. Come on, man. Stop that narrative right there that's happening. I don't like that at all.
Man, if they did this that solid, oh my God, that would be amazing. I'm speaking as a Laker fan. People don't know that I'm a big Laker fan. If they did that solid, Brooklyn would be my second best team, second favorite team. And they did me that solid.
And listen, I love that we've been talking about Kyrie for so long, but you know, the underlying thing here, if there's a problem here with Kyrie and the Nets organization, we know what that means for KD. He's up out of there.
Yeah, out of there, man.
He's up out of there if they can't reach that agreement. And listen, when I hear KD maybe up out of there, I'm Birdman rubbing my hands right now, Wole. I'm Birdman. I'm rubbing my hands right now, my brother. Because let me tell you, because the streets know. People who listen to this show, follow me on Twitter, talk to me all the time. The streets know what I've been shouting for a couple of weeks now. Kevin Durant to the Suns. Listen, it might be a strong possibility, so strong of a possibility, right? That I was looking at the odds maker, the Bovada odds that they had. Yeah. The Phoenix Suns are the number one team on that ranking for odds for KD's next team if he leaves the Brooklyn Nets. We talked about it pre-episode. We talked about all the ties that the Phoenix Suns have with Kevin Durant, Monty Williams, PG, DMV area, all of that. U.S. Olympic town, U.S. Olympic. They were there also as well. He was his assistant coach in OKC also as well. He said earlier this year that Devin Booker's one of his favorite players. We know that he's cool with CP. They already speak. They're one of the top echelon players in the league. JaVale McGee factor there as well. He's also played with JaVale McGee multiple times, Team USA this year. And then also, I believe with the Warriors too, JaVale McGee was on that same team when they won.
Yeah, he was.
So there's a lot of ties that could bring Kevin Durant over to the Suns. And not to mention, it's a perfect fit. You know? He could be that scorer that you are. You can just hoop over there. Devin Booker is the guy over there. Let them prop him up as that guy. And listen, what a great way to get a dig and get up the talent, because the Nets, they were a great team, but they were very star dependent, very star driven. They were very top heavy. With a team like Phoenix, deeper team. They've already done more with less. Now, listen, Chris Paul, I love Chris Paul as my guy. He's not supposed to be the second best player on the team right now. I need him to take a step back, play less minutes, less relied upon in this series. And what better way than to bring a guy like KD in? So, it may be wishful thinking, with me, but I want it. The streets need it. I'll tell you that right now. I need that. So I think it's a high probability, and we're going to see it bubble in the next couple of weeks.
If he wants out, that's definitely like we mentioned before, that's definitely a good, there's a high chance that could happen. He could be petty. No, he's petty with the media. He could go to Golden State, be petty as hell.
Oh, that's very petty. Oh, that would be petty. but you know what's crazy?
He has that in him.
Yeah, he does. But you know what's crazy? I don't think he likes those dudes anymore, yo. I don't think he likes Draymond or Steph.
He likes Steph.
You think so?
I don't like Steph.
I think he likes him personally, yeah. But I think because of the little wedge that the media and Twitter people have created, sometimes warp that, because sometimes you don't always talk to the individual guy. You just hear the narrative, see the shit. Yeah,
but he sticks up for Steph though. Like he'll stick up for Steph, but like Stephen A, when they were talking about him changing the game, like Jordan and Steph, like he took offense to that. He was like, people like that only encourage the game. Like he'll stick up for Steph. And Draymond definitely is a wedge. I don't care. Like I don't care about that tongue-in-cheek shit they be doing. Like there's a wedge there. Like there's something there. Yeah. Like I don't think he want to play with Draymond no more. Like I'm gonna keep that a buck.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's even. I joke around by saying petty, but like he on some real shit. I don't think he want to play with Draymond anymore for real.
Yeah.
I think he cool with the other light skin brothers. Steph I think he would play with them, but that dark skin dude. He's like, F that dude.
Yeah, he don't want that no more. And I ain't mad at him.
I ain't mad at him. I'm not getting into no Draymond slander. Y'all folks can tell how I feel about Draymond. I'm not a big fan of dude.
You were nice today, though. You were nice.
I'm nice, but I don't like that dude. But when it goes back to him and Phoenix, though, I like it. I do like it. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned, Monty to me is if I said Spoelstra was the best coach in basketball, Monty number 2. I think that he runs a nice offense where KD doesn't have to be worried about ISO basketball as much. KD just like to hoop, like to get shots when he can and go. And with that spacing, that ball movement, players knowing their role, they got to make sure they sign back Bridges. I think Bridges is a free agent, I think. Yeah. They got to make sure they get him back in the fold because he's essential.
Bridges is already re-signed. He's already on.
He's already signed? Okay, cool.
Cam Johnson is up for an extension.
Oh, yeah. Well, try to get Cam because he's a knockdown shooter. They're gonna lose my man Ayton. I mean, I like Ayton.
Nah, he gotta go, brother. You already know. I don't know if you heard my episode. He gotta go. You can't be getting out rebounded by Kleber. Get out of here. I don't want to hear that.
I know, right? And then you see what Looney did too. Right? I know.
Get him out of here. I'm about to say for a box of cookies. Damn. Get him out of here.
Look, I think he'll be good somewhere else, though. I think Ayton will be good somewhere else.
He will.
I think he's kind of tired. I think he wants to leave, though. I think that's more of an energy.
Yeah.
I think the contract thing played a part. I think there's a reason why he didn't play as good as he did the year before. Like, it's not basketball. It's off basketball.
And he's a young player, too, so that could get into his brain.
He want money, man. He want his money, man.
I ain't mad at him for that. Money. Yeah, I'm not mad at him for wanting that.
And then some people don't play right, like, when they... Like they're passionate basketball. They're greed, but what they want and what they feel like they deserve takes up away from their passion of basketball. So I think that would happen. But I mean, you add in KD, that's a lot. That's money you wouldn't have to spend on him or whatever. You could spend that on one of the best players. Well, one of the best, to me, the best player in basketball right now. When healthy, is the best player in basketball. So
no, I'm gonna be hyped if that happens.
Huh?
I'm gonna be hyped if that happens.
Yeah, I mean it could happen though, bro. It can, and it's a great fit again because the only thing would be, I know he likes playing with Devin Booker, but Devin Booker is a different type of dog. The only thing is Devin Booker would have to acknowledge and know where he is in the pecking order.
Yeah, and I think he will. I think he knew it for Chris Paul when he came in there, even though he's more talented offensively than Chris Paul.
Yeah, but it's harder. Yeah, I agree with you, but it's harder. He's a point guard, so he's going to always going to defer to him.
Exactly.
For shots. This is different, though. Like, when you're going with another shooter, it's different. Like, he's going to have to know that in this situation, in terms of what's going to happen down the stretch, who gets the ball? Like, who should be getting the ball?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think with a guy like Monty, I think there will be no egos involved when you have a guy like Monty, because then older players have to say, listen, Monty, it's on you. You tell us what to do, we're going to follow the game plan.
Yeah. But Monty's smart. He'll do it. Monty will do it. He'll know. You know what's up.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like, you got the most one of the more. If you get him, I'm talking like they have him. But if they get him.
Let's speak of it. Well, I know you don't root for the Suns, but me,
I want there.
I know.
I want Phoenix. I ain't gonna lie to you. If Lakers trade AD for KD in a second, that's what they should do.
Yeah, shit. Now that would be crazy too.
In a second, I say if KD, I'm like, hey, I'll call me. Hey,
listen, man.
Hey, AD cool. Hey, y'all can have AD for KD.
Anywhere KD go, if he moves to another team, it's shaking up the league.
Man.
It's shaking up the league, man. We need it. The streets need him to shake up the league right now. Listen.
Yeah, but to your point though, in terms of the perfect fit, you got it. Like, I do think the Suns are a perfect fit.
Yeah. So we're going to see, man, because it's going to be bubbling this next week. We got the draft coming up, man. We got free agency coming up right after that. The draft real quick before we get out, let's talk about it really quick. The Mavs have the number 1 overall pick. I think it's the 4th time I think the Magic have the number 1 pick in the NBA. They took Shaq with their top pick before. C. Webb was also their top pick. Obviously, we know they traded him for Penny. I believe that pick also that they traded with that in that Chris Webber deal turned into Vince Carter. I believe I remember reading that somewhere.
So.
Yeah, I think it turned into him. And also drafted Dwight Howard also with their first pick. So we're gonna see what they do with this pick. It could be Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, or Paolo from Duke.
Jabari Smith.
Yeah,
I like Jabari Smith.
So it's gonna be interesting. A lot of people saying they's gonna go with Duke, with Paolo from Duke. So we'll
he's good. He big. He played big.
Yeah, he played big. So he's 6'10" guy, whatever, something like 6'10" forward.
Yeah, he played big. I like Jabari. I like what Jabari Smith can do with the basketball, and he can shoot. And he's like, he got the. I mean, it looks sound funny, but it is what it is. He got that. He ain't as good as KD, but he got the KD vibe. He got the KD vibe.
Yes,
he got the KD vibe.
So you think out of those 3, who you think the Magic's gonna choose?
I think they should take Jabari Smith.
No, who do you think they will though? Jabari?
I think because the talk. I feel like the talk is all about.
It's Paolo, right, from Duke. Yeah, I know.
And he was talking a lot of junk, like he feel like he should be that dude.
Yep.
I just feel like but they got. The Magic suck. The organization sucks.
I'm actually going to talk about them in a few episodes. I got to bring my boy Teddy on there, man. He's a big Magic guy. Yeah.
I don't like they trash. Tell them I said they trash. Only because I hate when teams draft the same players. I hate that crap. It bothers me.
They got to switch it up.
They got to switch it up. So they draft the same players. You got a lot of players playing the same position. I do like Suggs though.
I like Suggs. I
like Suggs a lot. I like Suggs a lot.
I like Suggs a lot.
Yeah, I think I like Mark. I mean, they got Markelle, folks.
Markelle, they got Cole Anthony over there. They still got.
See what I'm saying? They got Cole. That's what I'm saying. They got. Okay, they do got talent.
Yeah, one of those 3 have to be.
Got to go. Markelle got to go. Like I think Cole Anthony and Cole Anthony and Suggs. That should be Markelle got to go.
I agree.
But after that, you got to find a core. Like you got to drive with dude, and he can slide in to start.
Yep.
And then you can rock and roll. Yep. But they'll probably get dude from Duke.
Yeah, me personally, I think they're gonna pick homie from Duke because I just think there's a lot of narrative around him and a lot of fanfare around him too. Also, and because he's from Duke, that obviously gives you an extra level of cachet. So I think they're gonna go with him, and we'll see how that plays out, man.
I think Smith is gonna be the best player, though. I mean, Smith is gonna be the best player. I think. I watched Holmgren. I watched him.
He's all right, but I ain't picking him number 1. I ain't picking him number 1.
I think he good. I think he all right. I don't think he number 1. I get Adam Morrison vibes from him, so I'm kind of scared.
Well, we hope not. Shit, for his sake.
Yeah, I know. I hope not, bro. I got Adam Morrison vibes for real.
Man, it's going to get sticky in these next couple of weeks, my brother, so I'm definitely going to bring you back in. We definitely got to discuss everything that's going on in the NBA, because it's going to get wild, man. It's going to get wild. But yeah, man, but family, I appreciate you for listening. Wole, I appreciate you, my brother, for joining me once again for another episode. I definitely got to bring you back a lot sooner than I did the last time. So like I said, my fault on that, G.
It's okay,
my fault on that, Chief.
It's okay, man. It's okay. I told you, man. As long as I can see your content, bro. I care about,
I appreciate that. And likewise, my brother. And likewise. So, yeah, family, thank you for keeping it locked with me on this playoff journey. We're definitely going to be back for another free agency episode when that starts popping off. Make sure you hit me up on Twitter, IG, Facebook with all your NBA takes. Subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Shout out to my man, Wole. Make sure you go download this pod. Make sure you go listen to the show, The Urban Sports Scene, my brother. And listen, fam, this is episode 184, and we out.